try this again. Welcome, everyone, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. And once again, I hope you guys are having a wonderful start of the new year, despite everything going on in the world, and that things are going to just continue to get better for you and for all of us as time goes on. So let's see here. Today, I actually want to talk about something that came up during a client call that I had this morning, and that's why I'm doing the impromptu live. And if you all are watching this on the YouTube replay, because I will be putting this up on the YouTube channel later, please give us a subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. But what we're talking about is creating a service schedule. See, this person that had called me, they were from Washington State, and they are having issues closing once they get into the in-home. All right, that's a big problem, and it's actually quite common. You sit there, you talk about everything, you're explaining your services, you're setting the client expectation. Everything seems to be going fantastic. And here comes the time to sign the service agreements, and all of a sudden, we start hearing things like, I'm not sure if this is a right fit. I'm not sure if this is what we need. I don't know if this is something that I can afford. We'll go with the national average. It's about $23, $24 an hour. Yeah, I don't know if I can afford $24 an hour all the time. And here's the way you combat this. All right, generally, there's a few things you have to keep in mind. You're not having a closing issue. Your price is not too much money, okay? What it is you're failing to do one thing, and you're failing to take away doubt and have this person fully understand what value you bring to the table. All right, and that's where most people lose their client during the objection, okay? Keep in mind one thing, no matter what, I don't care how new you are to this industry. I don't care any of this. When you're sitting in front of these people that need your services, you got to remember you're there because you are the expert. They reached out to an agency because they need help and they don't know what they're doing. Doesn't matter if they've had 20 agencies in the home before, you are the expert. Okay. And what does being an expert mean? It's one, it comes with the understanding that you actually know more about what they need based on your past experience than they do. So one of the things you have to understand is know your timetables. Okay. If the family is telling you, hey, yeah, I think, mom needs a shower twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever the case may be, understand how long does it actually take to bathe a human being. All right. Depending on the circumstance, how long does it take to do meal prep? How long does it take to open a can of soup and heat it up, make some toast, clean a house? Know these timetables, because when your client is sitting there and that doubt starts to creep in, they're trying to figure out how much it costs. So you got to help them build the schedule. All right. Understand what their needs are going to be. Does mom sleep the entire night? Hey, what are your needs as a family? And all these timetables, they come into effect. One thing builds up on the other. If they need services and they work themselves 8 hours, understand there might be an hour commute each way. There might be traffic. So an ideal schedule for them won't be 8 hours. It could potentially be 9 or 10 or even longer. How many days a week do they work? Are there other activities? You're in business. Your business is to bill hours. Understand how you can create something that works for everybody. The other thing is don't be afraid to say, hey, 12-hour shifts 6 days a week are what you need based on what you're telling me is going on. Because it's always, always, always much easier to bring your hours down than it is to increase them. And think about this. You have caregivers. Your caregivers likely work for multiple agencies. If you have a caregiver that the family ends up growing attached to, and you only have her in there 6 hours a day, 3 days a week, and all of a sudden they actually want her there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's a nice bump up in hours for you. But you don't know if the caregiver that you put in there is only available those shifts that you put in there. And now you're potentially alienating a client or risking your caregiver taking on your client privately because she can't be there on the schedule that the family needs. So it's always easier to decrease than it is to increase. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is the client's finances. Okay. Your client's got to pay for this. If you're in this group and if you're watching this channel, you're interested in private pay. Somebody's got to pay for this. This is not a Medicaid program. This is not VA. This is not aid in attendance. You are expecting somebody to figure out a way to pay for this. So you have to keep that in mind when you're sitting with the family and trying to build their schedule. So they may tell you, hey, listen, $24 an hour, 25, 26, 40, whatever it is, that's a bit steep. But the reality is that it's your follow-up question should be, what's your budget? Oh, well, I have a weekly budget of $500. Okay, great. So let's put the $24 an hour to the side and let's work with your budget. $24 an hour will get you, at $400, it'll get you about 10 hours roughly. So let's work with a 10-hour schedule that we can, because we know our timetables and we know what aides or caregivers we have available. We know that we can build a schedule where things will get done within the time that they can pay. So now you're not losing a client over your dollar per hour. You are keeping a client because you've learned to understand and you have figured out how to work within the confines of their budget. That's probably, in all honesty, the number one reason that people lose a client is because the client focuses on that per hour rate, and the person doing the in-home, that closer, fails to understand that you're there for the client and you should be working within the confines of the client's needs, not the other way around. Yes, you may actually, if you're smart, you're going to have some sort of hourly minimum and you're going to have all these other things in place, but you still have to clearly understand what the needs are of that client. Otherwise, you're doing nothing. Yeah. Look, there's really an infinite number of possibilities on how to build a schedule. Okay. But there's a big difference between the mindset of, I'm going to run out of money at $24 an hour versus I have $500 in my budget. And as long as we don't go past that, we're okay. And I guarantee you that while you're sitting there ignoring the client's needs, whoever comes in next won't be. Keep that in mind next time you're sitting in front of a potential client and they start giving you the buts, or the what ifs. Okay. If you're watching this live in the group, anybody have any questions on this particular topic before I move on to some announcements and stuff? And if you're watching the replay, once again, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like and share it with others that could benefit from it. All right, it doesn't seem like we have any questions, so I have a few announcements. We are going to be launching a new course through our website. Probably by the end of today, we're going to be doing pre-registration. The course is going to be called Pricing for Profits. It's a full battery of how to understand your margins, how they will affect your business and your business's ability to create growth, scale, how to pay your caregivers. There's going to be a lot of elements in this course. It's 5 steps on how to build your pricing strategy or your pricing plan. Everything on understanding what the value is of your client, to each of your clients, your referral partner, your family, and the end user, on how to set the price based on the value that you're providing, and including a full exercise on how to do market research the right way to make sure that you're not undercharging or overcharging. There will be a section in this to how to calculate caregiver pay in order to stay competitive, and again, how to do the market research that's necessary in order to get your caregiver pay and fair and equitable and attractive to potential hires, as well as how staying within your margins so your business won't fail. All right. Also, we have a section on calculating and understanding the difference between your gross margins and your net margins, and how they, again, that $1 will make a huge difference one way or the other, and how to inform your new clients and existing clients and referral partners of your updated pricing strategy. There's going to be, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be links in the description box. If you're watching this live in the Facebook group, there will be a post later today about where to pre-register. The course is gonna eventually sell for about $500, but we are doing a pre-launch special pricing of $97 if you pre-register before the course launches officially. Also, if you are watching this, if you're watching this in the Facebook group, and there are links in the description box on how to join the Facebook group, next week we will be holding an event. I haven't gotten all the details worked out yet, where I'm going to give away 2 people completely free the pricing course. The details on how I'm going to do it, I haven't decided yet, but please share this video, share the group with people, and let's help get the word out as necessary. Thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate your time as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys the next time on our next video.